We got to give an honorable mention to Ian for this next segment. The Guardian reports Kiev is furious as EU wavers on banning Russia from the SWIFT payment system. Now, before we get into everything, I just want to point this out. If you guys, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, World War III, it's clickbait, it's not going to happen. The SWIFT payment system, it's the International Banking System, ACH payments, bank transfers. It's how trade is done. If Russia gets booted, because this is what's happening, Kiev is furious. They say, we want it to happen, but there are members of EU like Germany. They're saying, we don't want to do it. Boris Johnson is saying, do it. Boot Russia from SWIFT. This would mean Russia can't use banks anymore outside of the country. It cuts them off financially. Do you think China says, sorry, Russia can't help you? Or do you think China says, we'll facilitate the trade for you? Do you think Russia says, oh no, I guess we've lost and now everything is done? Or do you think Russia says, you want a war, we'll give you one? Cutting them off from the financial system. Look, the only thing it will do is push Russia further away and give them less of a reason to actually negotiate on any of this stuff. And I see blue checks. I see high profile Democrat personalities and never Trump or neocon types being like, yeah, we should do this. Yeah, shut it down. And I'm like, okay, give Russia nothing left to lose. Do it. And then see how they respond.
Fortunately, I'm from the Washington Examiner 50 minutes ago. Biden declines to cut Russia from SWIFT payment system.
No, that's from today's sanctions. There's going to be a meeting, I believe, tomorrow. So Biden today said, we're only going to sanction some of their biggest banks. We are not going to be cutting them off from SWIFT. This does not mean they won't in the future.
That sounds like a baby step to me.
Right. Saying your 4 largest banks are being cut off. It's saying, be prepared. We're gonna shut down your entire financial system coming soon.
So crazy. And then you see him shutting off the bank accounts of the Canadian people. The Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, has shut off 3, according to Tulsi Gabbard, 3 of the largest television stations in prison. This is Western democracy doing these things, threatening to shut off economies.
Bro,
we're not the good guys.
No.
Maybe we're not the good guys.
War ain't no thing.
No, nobody's a good guy in war.
War is not a walk in the park. During World War II, we had an office of censorship. The U.S. had a department. I believe it was a department of censorship.
Loose lips sink ships.
Yeah, the Germans had the minister of propaganda, Goebbels.
Yo, we had internment camps for the Japanese in the United States. This idea
they don't teach that too often anymore.
No,
they browse right over that in U.S. History 1 and 2 in high school now. They don't.
What, internment camps?
Yeah,
not for me.
Now I mean, that
these days.
Yeah, I mean history class has gotten watered down tremendously since the time that we were in school.
We should know more about
that. That's something that's really important because again, it's if we are going to be the country that says you are wrong, you can't do this. We need to start working on our BS too.
And like Tim was saying, in war, how things change. Maybe there was some value to interning the Japanese that may have been Japanese spies. Who knows? If we hadn't interned the Japanese,
that was the initial
overthrow.
That was the initial reasoning for it.
But it was like Japanese civilians, like expats, people that didn't deserve to be imprisoned were being interned.
Yeah, there's a lot of collateral damage when you do something as sweeping as that.